from Southwest Florida's news leader. This is Wink News at 11.
Now on the Nightbeat, chaos at the crash scene.
He's putting me in. Ow, 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 ow.
One woman cuffed and facing charges.
It was a car accident.
Tonight, the exclusive video as paramedics tend to more than half a dozen people.
A battle on the beach over short-term rentals.
It's not fair. It's my house. I pay taxes already on my house.
Right now, homeowners fired up over what could be coming.
The pain of tragedy told through music. Parkland shooting survivors moving forward and honoring the victims in song.
And the empty box scam. Right now, the warning you need to know if you do any online shopping.
Wink News begins with breaking news.
That breaking news coming out of Highlands County. A deputy shot in the line of duty. This is a picture of the scene posted on Facebook by the sheriff's office.
The deputy was responding to a call about a neighbor dispute in Lake Placid. We know he was flown to Lee Memorial in critical condition tonight. The Nightbeat's Oliver resident is at the hospital. Now, Oliver, what can you tell us?
Well, John-Carlos, I can tell you that the deputy just arrived here a short time ago, and since then we've seen other Highlands County deputies slowly starting to trickle in. And I want to show you this picture that was just posted by the Clewiston Police Department in support of this Highlands County deputy who, like you mentioned, we now know is in critical condition. And I want to tell you what else we know. That deputy was responding to a neighbor dispute in Highlands County, a dispute between two neighbors around 8 p.m. tonight. They say when he arrived on that scene, one of the neighbors then fired a shot that hit that deputy in the head. He was airlifted here to Lee Memorial Hospital, where he is now undergoing treatment. And just in the last couple of minutes, we've been told that Governor Rick Scott will have a phone call, an emergency phone call tomorrow morning with the Highlands County Sheriff's Department. Of course, we are going to continue to follow this developing story as it all unfolds here right now, live at Lee Memorial Health. Oliver Redston, Wink News now.
More breaking news coming out of Hawaii. Incredible images just coming in of lava from the Kilauea volcano. We just learned 21 homes are now destroyed. The lava has spread quickly through what scientists describe as long hose-like tunnels underground. A state of emergency is in effect right now. We have not heard of anyone being hurt. Now to a developing story. Debris spread through a parking lot after a car plows into a crowd of people in Cape Coral. The woman behind the wheel was arrested but claims she did nothing wrong.
I'm detained right now. I got in a car accident. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm detained. Cape Coral's finest.
7 people were hit and injured. 2 had to be taken to the hospital.
And the crash happened around 2 this afternoon at the busy intersection of Del Prado and Cornwallis right over here. And traffic was a mess for hours. Tonight, the scene is clear, but many questions are left unanswered. The Nightbeat's Chris Grisby has the exclusive story.
It was really loud. We heard some screeching.
A car crash off Del Prado Boulevard Sunday afternoon in Cape Coral sent 2 pedestrians to the hospital after this car came flying off the road into a parking lot.
When we turned around, a car was coming over the curb.
Witnesses say a family driving this car was hit from behind, causing them to lose control and hit 2 women. Onlookers say the driver of this gold car caused the domino effect.
I got in a car accident. Apparently, I'm a criminal.
The driver of the car says she didn't do anything wrong. However, Cape officers specially trained to see if someone is under the influence came to conduct several sobriety tests.
Not under arrest. It was a car accident. I want to go home. I want something to drink. I want a Kleenex to blow my nose. Are you videotaping this? Because put it on the news. I want to go home. I want a drink of water. I want a Kleenex. Nope, can't have any of that. Why? Because I got in a car accident.
Officers say this woman is facing several charges, including multiple counts of DUI with bodily injury. A total of 7 people were injured and 2 were transported with life-threatening injuries.
I'm detained right now. I got in a car accident. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm detained. Cape Coral's finest.
Reporting in Cape Coral, Chris Grisby, Wink News Now.
And we are still waiting to find out the driver's name and the conditions of the 2 victims who suffered life-threatening injuries.
Happening right now, the search for a killer after 19-year-old Juan Herrera was found murdered in Immokalee. It happened here at the intersection of Farm Workers Way and State Road 29. The sheriff's office says there's no threat to the community, but anyone with information should call them. Preparing to go before a judge tomorrow, this accused killer, Jorge Guerrero, will be arraigned for murder. The state's attorney's office just announced first-degree murder and kidnapping charges against him last week. They believe he killed 9-year-old Diana Alvarez after she disappeared from her San Carlos Park home in 2016. Investigators still haven't found her body. Count on Wink News to be in court tomorrow. Also tomorrow, these 3 young suspects, 2 of them teens, will enter their pleas in the murder of a taxi driver. They're accused of killing Hinzo Esplet in Lehigh Acres. A grand jury indicted them just days ago for first-degree murder. Investigators say the trio robbed Esplet before shooting him to death. The suspects are 13, 16, and 20 years old. They'll appear before a judge tomorrow.
And news from the Fire Watch now. This 15-acre fire in Pasco County Parks is now out. We do not know how it started or if any buildings were damaged. And here's the latest fire danger map just put out by the Florida Forest Service. The good news is that Collier County is now considered low, and the rest of Southwest Florida is considered moderate to very high risk for a fire. And Week News is the Weather Authority. Here's a live look over downtown Fort Myers. A pretty decent Sunday out there. And Week News meteorologist Eric Sauna is here with what we can expect for the start of the work week. Eric.
Well, it's going to start to dry out as we had those showers both yesterday and today. And now all that moisture is going to be pushing off to the east-northeast as a cold front comes in from the northwest and drops the humidity just a bit. Now, temperatures out there right now, well, we're in the middle 70s, 76 in Naples, 77 in Fort Myers, 77 in Port Charlotte. So after the inland showers that we saw late today, that weak cold front moves through tomorrow, and then we're going to see, dry and hot weather for several days. Those details coming up in the forecast in just a bit.
Now to a battle on the beach. Tomorrow, the Fort Myers Beach Council will take up the issue of short-term rental regulations. It would bring more oversight and tighter rules. It's a topic firing up those on the beach. The Nightbeat's Alvarez is looking into it tonight. New right now.
Paying to rent out your own property.
That's ridiculous. Totally. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, how can they charge somebody something that we own?
It's a notion that has renters and landlords alike split right down the middle.
The local economy needs everything it can from the tourism to support what's going on here. So, yeah, I think it'd be very helpful.
It's not fair. It's my house. I pay taxes already on my house.
Tomorrow, the Fort Myers Beach Town Council will hear from the public one final time on whether or not short-term rentals should be regulated like businesses. Property owners would have to register with the city and pay an administrative fee if they plan to let guests stay in their home or condo.
The fees can only help, really, because if you provide something that's some structure that people have to pay that little bit extra, a lot of times you get better people thinking about what they're doing, too.
But some renters worry it could drive up prices and ultimately hurt the economy.
I'm on my way out for dinner tonight, and I'm spending money that I might not be spending in this community if the price wasn't attractive to start with.
Many are now planning to plead their case to the council.
You guys should back off and let the citizens just, if they make a couple dollars, leave it alone. Why do you got to get a cut of everything?
That was Oliver Redston reporting. The town council meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m. This is the final public hearing on the short-term rental debate. It'll be open to the public. New on the Nightbeat, a big change is coming to a plot of land near Southwest Florida International Airport. These are renderings of a development being built right now. Phase 1 of Premier Airport Park is underway. The news press reports the development on Airport Hall Road will be larger than Edison Mall. It'll be more than 1 million square feet of industrial, manufacturing, warehousing, and office park use.
A woman is accused of getting drunk and biting a deputy. Collier County Sheriff deputies arrested Sarah Haggerty last night. They received a call saying she was drunk and out of control in an apartment building off of Old 41 Road. Deputies say when they tried to handcuff her, she bit a deputy on the arm and tried kicking them. Haggerty has been charged with a felony for hitting the deputy.
We're still working to find out what started a fire in Naples. This was the scene earlier this morning. Firefighters tell us when they got there, flames were blazing inside and outside the building. Crews battled the fire for 2 hours. 3 businesses were damaged. Firefighters were just called out at 5:30 a.m. It happened near Golden Gate Parkway on Exchange Street. It's in the middle of an industrial complex, which made it difficult for crews to get it under control.
Contend with flammable liquids, other combustibles outside of the ordinary type you'd have in, say, a residential fire.
Count on Wink News to let you know more details as soon as we get them.
And the best of the best, coming up, Florida nurses getting some credit as the country faces a shortage.
Plus, mourning through music, nearly 3 months since the deadly Parkland school shooting. Students finding a unique way to heal.
And hello again, everyone. Well, Southwest Florida, we did see a warm day today with just a few isolated showers, and now we're going to start to dry things out and see some hot temperatures. All that coming right up.
Wink News staying on top of breaking news now. A Highlands County deputy has been shot. We have live pictures from Lee Memorial Health, where he is now being held with a lot of support. We have a live crew on the scene. We'll bring you much more after the break.
New details now. A Florida man cuffed and jailed accused of trying to kill sex offenders. George Porto Sierra is charged with 4 counts of attempted premeditated murder for setting them on fire. Osceola County detectives say the 50-year-old confessed to the deputies he tried to kill several people at the Friendly Village Inn. Porto Sierra remains in jail tonight with no bond.
The search for a missing Sebring teen is on tonight. 17-year-old Carla Less disappeared on April 29th in Sebring. Officials worry she could be in danger. She's 5'7" and wears glasses. Authorities initially thought she was a runaway, but now they think she's in danger. There's a picture of her on your screen right now. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
Shimming, likely a word you haven't heard. Police say you need to know it. Scammers are doing it. It's a new way for crooks to steal credit card information. Scammers insert a super thin device containing a microchip and flash storage in the machine that reads the chip on your credit card. The sham copies them and saves your information. A couple Florida police departments say they've seen the device.
Well, take a look at this. A window worry tonight for America's airplanes. A JetBlue plane traveling to Tampa deals with a broken windshield today. This is video of different Southwest flights dealing with the problem. Both of those incidents happened on a 737. The FAA is now investigating. The former head of the NTSB says this is very unusual.
There are a number of redundancies built into these windows that enable them to withstand even the loss of one of the panes.
The 737 window has 2 acrylic panes in case one fails.
And now to a possible subpoena showdown. President Trump's new lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, says the president may push back on the special counsel's possible subpoena on the Russian interference in the 2016 election. It comes as the president faces more questions about an alleged affair with a porn star. Wink News reporter Errol Burnett has more from the Trump presidency.
My issue is getting up to speed on the facts here. I'm about halfway there.
Today, President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, further explained inconsistencies in his defense of Mr. Trump and suggested the president might resist a subpoena from special counsel Robert Mueller, compelling him to testify under oath.
We don't have to. He's the president of the United States. We can assert the same privileges other presidents have.
Democrats say the president must cooperate.
He's going to need to comply with a subpoena. If they take that case to court, they're going to lose.
So what up, girl?
Stormy Daniels, who alleges an affair with Mr. Trump and is suing to get out of a non-disclosure agreement, appeared on TV joking about the risk her case poses to Trump's presidency.
What do you need for this to all go away?
A resignation.
Questions remain over payments Trump made to his personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, for alleged hush money paid to Daniels during the election. Giuliani says it was all legal.
Number one, it was not a campaign contribution because it would have been done anyway. Number two, even if it was considered a campaign contribution, it was entirely reimbursed out of personal funds.
I can't believe that that actually just happened.
Daniels' lawyer reacted.
I think it is obvious. This is a cover-up, that they are making it up as they go along.
President Trump's advisor, Kellyanne Conway, told Face the Nation Giuliani's remarks that Trump's repayments were campaign expenditures is wrong.
The president himself characterized it as not a campaign expenditure.
She also explained why the president said no when asked if he knew about Cohen's payments to Daniels.
The president told me just yesterday that when he said no on Air Force One last month, he's talking about when the payment occurred.
Errol Barnett, CBS News, the White House.
Conway also said the White House is anxious about the 3 Americans currently detained in North Korea. Rudy Giuliani suggested it could happen soon, but Conway could not confirm a time of their release.
New tonight, First Lady Melania Trump will announce her formal platform Monday during an event in the White House Rose Garden. It'll be her first speech from that location. Before the election, the First Lady said she would lead a campaign against online bullying. The First Lady's spokeswoman says she will take a multi-pronged approach to issues affecting young people.
And caught on camera wrangling up a scaly beast, a gator hitting the road in Collier County last night. The sheriff's office posted these pictures to their Facebook page. They said this gator is 10 feet long and 350 pounds. A trapper headed to US 41 in North Naples. That gator is now with Florida Wildlife. Luckily, no one got hurt.
Wink News, now back with breaking news.
That breaking news coming out of Highlands County. A deputy shot in the line of duty, and Governor Scott is responding. This is a picture of the scene posted on Facebook by the sheriff's office.
The deputy was responding to a call about a neighbor dispute in Lake Placid. We know he was flown to Lee Memorial in critical condition. The Nightbeat's Oliver resident is live at the hospital. Oliver.
Well, John-Carlos, just in the last few minutes, Governor Scott putting out a statement. I want to read it to you. It says, quote, "I have spoken with the Highland County Sheriff Blackman on the deputy shot tonight and offered all state resources. Hurting a law enforcement officer is pure evil, and we won't stand for it. I ask all Floridians to pray for the family, the Highland County Sheriff's Office, and all of the brave law enforcement officers who go above and beyond every day to keep us safe." And also, just in the last few minutes, the Clewiston Police Department posting this on Facebook in support of that deputy from the Highland County Sheriff's Office who was shot, and that deputy arriving here to Lee Memorial a short time ago. Here's what we know right now. That deputy was responding to a neighbor dispute in Highlands County around 8 p.m. tonight. We are told that one of the neighbors in that dispute shot the deputy. He was then airlifted here to Lee Memorial, and again, he is in critical condition right now, undergoing treatment, and we are still following this developing story. A lot to come and a lot unfolding here as we stand outside the hospital emergency room. Of course, we'll continue to follow it and bring you any updates just as soon as we get them. For now, live in the Nightbeat, Oliver Redston, Wink News now.
Oliver, thank you. Back now with a warning for everyone who shops online. Scammers are hiding behind a trusted name. This time, it's Amazon. Some customers have reportedly gotten a delivery they paid for, but when they open the box, nothing is inside. It's an attempt to circumvent Amazon's guarantee policy, and it's working.
When buying is as easy as a click of a button, the small print may be an afterthought. And you might not realize so many of the products you buy on Amazon are really from a third-party seller. That's how Becky Allen lost a couple $100s in one transaction.
So we ordered a DVD box set of movies for my son, and they sent us ones from a foreign country. We went back and forth with them trying to get at least reimbursed or the right CD sent, and they never did send the right CDs or reimburse us.
She paid for something her family couldn't even use. Now some buyers report getting nothing but a box.
That is awful, really, especially what if it's something expensive.
The third-party sellers are banking on you to sign for the delivery.
And that's the loophole, because they're trying to create that paper trail. Even though they sent you an empty box, it clears them. Because if they just took the money and run, then you have definitely fraud. But then now the burden of proof is on you, the consumer.
Shopping online is already scary doing that, and then you got somebody that know how to get through the loopholes. That's even scarier.
That's why you always need to look for the third-party seller right next to the words "sold by." This necklace mom might like for Mother's Day has no rating yet, but you can search for the other products by the same seller, and if there is none or it's newly launched, be cautious.
If you are a third-party seller, you get flagged because somebody didn't get their item or whatever. It's really easy to change your username or your profile and just do it to more and more people.
Amazon says it has a zero tolerance for fraud. The company encourages anyone who doesn't get their product to report that, and to protect yourself, it may be wise to take video of you opening the boxes you receive.
It's your money, and you're going to be spending more of it on gas. Gas prices have jumped 7 cents in the past 2 weeks. The Lindbergh survey says the increase is being driven by higher crude oil costs. The average gallon of gas right now in Southwest Florida is $2.63. That's below the national average of $2.81.
And new on the Nightbeat, a student pilot lands safely after his small plane's windshield became coated with oil. It happened on April 26th near the Daytona Beach International Airport. Air traffic controllers radioed instructions guiding the 20-year-old pilot to the runway. He landed safely, even with zero visibility.
A Georgia man is arrested, accused of randomly shooting at drivers on a highway. His reasoning? He idolized the mass shooter in the Parkland school shooting. Deputies in Georgia arrested 26-year-old Rex Harbor. The sheriff says at least 7 cars were hit and 2 people were shot. Harbor tried to run from deputies, but shot and killed himself before officers could arrest him. A trail camera led investigators right to him.
When the trail camera was examined, it showed photographs of Rex Harbor as he was walking towards the area where he took a position to fire at the passing motorist.
The 2 people who were shot will be okay. New video now from prom at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Check this out. Police officers working the event decided to take part in the dancing. Students captured the moment on their cell phones right there. Part of last night's prom event included a memorial for the 4 seniors killed in the Valentine's Day shooting. Good for them, having a good time.
Some smooth moves there. All right, well, Wink News is the weather authority. Here's a live look over downtown Fort Myers. A really nice Sunday night out there. Wink News meteorologist Eric Sana is here with what we can expect for tomorrow morning.
Well, we're going to start out on the dry side for Monday for sure. It's going to be a dry week. We had moisture around for the weekend. We had showers yesterday, Saturday. Today was fewer showers, and they were mainly inland, moving off to the northeast. All that moisture we are watching to the south, and that unsettled weather is being pushed off to the east as well. And that's it. We're going to see now drier air come in with a front late in the day tomorrow, and then we'll see lots of sunshine for sure. Now, where did the rain fall today? Well, as opposed to the coast, you can see everything was inland of I-75 towards the lake, and now it's all off in the Atlantic on the other coast. Southwest Florida right now, temperature-wise, we're in the 70s, 76 in Naples, 76 at Cape Coral, and 75 up in Punta Gorda. So we'll see those temperatures drop in the low 70s, a few upper 60s inland, and even some areas of fog here and there. Not widespread tomorrow morning, but we'll see some of that as we watch this next system come in from the northwest. More about that coming up in the forecast in a bit.
Eric, thank you. A popular alternative to smoking now being blamed for a fatal fire. We're talking about vaping. A recent study finds that it continues to grow in popularity, but fire officials are now sounding the alarm to this dangerous trend. Now on Wink.
We saw the smoke coming out of the roof, and so, you know, we were just hoping that nobody was home, but then we found out that Wake was home.
Dale Klein talking about her longtime neighbor, 38-year-old Talmadge Wakeman Delia. It was Klein who had to identify him after almost 45% of his body was burned.
It blows my mind that you could do something like that.
Deputy Fire Marshal Stephen Lawrence believes an exploding vape pen may be to blame for Delia's death.
It's like having a small or, a little larger than a firecracker in your hand, and it can explode, and then at that point it can project either the pieces of the lighter itself or the vape pen. They become pieces of flying debris and shrapnel.
If this is indeed what happened, it could be the first vape pen explosion death in the nation. According to this FEMA report, from 2000 to 2016, there were nearly 200 such reported explosions, but no one died. But 29% suffered severe injuries. Lawrence says it's because explosions can happen if the lithium battery overheats. And when they do happen, the shape of the devices make them behave like flaming rockets. Lawrence says they won't know the official cause of death until an autopsy is completed. Dale says this has shaken her. She has a teen son.
Make sure that people know that these things are not as safe as they think they are.
Authorities are expecting to get an official cause of death early this week.
A tragedy in Indiana. A 7-year-old boy dies in an indoor pool. It happened at the Island Aquatic Center in Indianapolis. A lifeguard was on duty and dove and performed CPR. Other kids in the pool called for the lifeguards.
They had lifeguards on duty. The mother was here with the child. I mean, all of the things that you're supposed to do were happening.
Witnesses at the pool say they believe the child had some sort of medical issue.
New tonight on the Nightbeat, offering to withdraw. Gina Haspel, President Trump's pick to lead the CIA, says she can step aside. This comes amid concerns that a debate over a harsh interrogation program would tarnish her reputation and that of the CIA. White House officials on Friday sought out additional details about Haspel's involvement in the CIA's now defunct program of brutally interrogating terror suspects after 9/11. A confirmation hearing is set for Wednesday.
And reopening after tragedy tonight, the Gilchrist County restaurant where 2 deputies were shot and killed has reopened. The Ace China restaurant, back open for business, says it's completely overwhelmed by the support from the community. Business hasn't slowed down since the open sign lit up Thursday, and it's been so busy they're only taking walk-in orders.
The first time I saw they were open, I said, you know what, I'm gonna turn around and go get some lunch. Make sure I spend money at this place because they deserve it. These people are very important to this community. It wasn't their fault, but they're very important.
A plaque honoring the deputies hangs up in front where everyone can see it. Once things slow down, Ace China says they'll place it above the table where the fallen deputies were sitting on their lunch break.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, bringing attention to the need for screening and treatment. According to new research released by Nationwide Children's Hospital, 87% of Americans surveyed agree that more mental health support for children and teens needs to be available. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says just over 20%, or about 1 in 5 children, have had a seriously debilitating mental disorder.
And new tonight, the best of the best. Wallet Hub says the Sunshine State is the 13th best state for nurses. The website looked at salary, number of health care facilities per capita, and the nurse-to-patient ratio. Maine, Montana, and Washington were among the best. D.C. and Hawaii were at the bottom of the list.
Working to solve water woes. Coming up, how kids want to make sure sea levels don't cause long-term issues. And no fence is too much for this gator. We'll tell you how a trip to church turned into a gator watching experience.
And hello again, everyone. Well, Southwest Florida, we're going to start to dry things out. We're watching the weather charts pushing a cold front our way. The big forecast when we come back.
And just in time for summer-like weather conditions, new concerns about your allergies. Doctors say their office has been busier than usual. More people are coming in with reactions. Experts say in general the rising temperatures from climate change and more carbon dioxide in the air are causing more pollens, producing plants to bloom earlier and last longer, prolonging the allergy season. The doctors say you can seek relief by using over-the-counter medicines.
Well, we're having too much fun here on the Nightbeat. You know, it's almost midnight at this point, so we're having a good time. But it sounds like it's going to be a hot week this week.
Yes, it is. Definitely. We had some rains this weekend, and that's it. It's going to be dry for several days. So we'll go to the weather computer and look at the big picture. Yeah, we had those showers yesterday on Saturday.
Wink News, now back with breaking news.
That breaking news coming out of Highlands County. We've just learned the deputy shot in the line of duty is 40-year-old William Gentry. He was responding to a neighbor dispute over a cat being shot in Lake Placid. When Deputy Gentry went to confront the suspect on Baltimore Way, deputies say 69-year-old Joseph Abels opened fire, hitting that deputy. Abels is known to be violent towards law enforcement.
And you're looking live at Lee Memorial. The Highland County Sheriff says that Gentry was flown to the hospital in critical condition, and we'll have more information on Wink News this morning starting at 4:30.
A live look now over the Naples Pier. The concern over rising sea levels is striking a nerve with some teens. These high school students say they have a solution to the issue. They want to send floating solar panels out to sea. It would monitor sea levels and help provide utilities. Let's get a final look at weather.
All right, it's going to be warm certainly for Monday, and we go to the weather computer. We'll start out in the low 70s. Could be a little fog here and there inland of I-75. Not very widespread, but look at that. By afternoon, 91 degrees, lots of sunshine, and that'll be your temperature trend for the next 4 days. Sunny with highs in the low 90s.
So a lot of water and sunscreen.
Yes,
yes,
absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a great week.